They did it, guys. They did it. Back to back. Back to back, guys. They did it. Let's go. Super Bowl 58 recap. Here are the highlights.
They fake it to McCaffrey. On the rollout, he has got his man. It's Juszczyk with a hurdle out near the 50. Yardage. They go back to him again. Ball is on the ground. The ball is out. Karlaftis is there for Kansas City. On first down. Trouble and a sack. That's Chase Young who got to him first.
That's the NFL if he's not already.
First and 10. Again, they give him the time, and he's got the pass threaded. It's at 55 yards. 54 was the record. Steve Christie and Moody, the rookie, nails it. A season for Rice is Mahomes. Rolls out, going deep, and it's caught at the 10-yard line. Mecole Hardman. 9, first and goal. Pacheco cuts it outside, tries to do it a second time, and he lost the football, and the Niners are on it. Juwan Jennings, trick play. Oh, this ball's in the air for a long time. McCaffrey's pull it down, and he's going in for the touchdown. Bosa coming around the corner. Mahomes able to slip out of it and throw against his body. He's got his man. He's got Watson for a first down at the 39-yard line. Townsend on the hold, and Kansas City is on the board. Well, the first snap of the third quarter, and the ball is on the ground. Pacheco swung down at the 11-yard line. What a brutal. 3rd and 12. Stepping up and lofts it. He is picked off. He overthrew a target. Chiefs all-time leading rusher in the postseason is Patrick Mahomes, who has it right now. He's got 10, 15, 20, 22 yards on the run. A nice snap. He drives it through. Put some odds on that. False. Stop, and he touched it. It's a fumble, and it's a recovery by in the red zone. Trying to take the lead. Mahomes goes for it right away. Wide open. Touchdown. Valdez-Scantling. 1 second on the play clock. 2nd and 9. Purdy's pass. Caught. Jennings did it. What an effort breaking tackles. 17 of his 25 catches is Moody. Extra point. Oh my goodness. No. It is blocked. Takes that stop and brings out Butker now to try to tie it from 24 yards. And it is. Play of the game, a 3rd and long 4. And they blitzed, and they forced the incompletion. McDuffie. Moody's kick. Oh, it's good. All the way.
Sending one guy inside, one outside.
Bringing it. Dump it off. McKinnon.
What a play call.
McKinnon. 3rd and 7. Kelsey, who else? Taken off inside the 20. Down to the 10-yard line. With 9 seconds to go.
No way it ends like this, does it?
To overtime. Butker's kick is good.
Oh,
2nd and 6. The Sun in trouble.
Oh, what a play.
Flings it to McCaffrey. And he gets past Edwards. High step and again pushed out by Snead. The push. 2nd 12. Brady. Had time and then had to go outside. Now throws. What a play. He's made 2 from outside 50 today. This is half that distance. From 27 yards, he makes it. Game on the line.
Jump off sides first.
Mahomes has it. He's easily going to get the first. And of football.
Yeah. Not a big deal now unless you don't get it.
Go up top. Mahomes cradles it and goes down to the 13-yard line. 1st and goal. Mahomes flings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City!
And this fight for your right, don't you? You gotta fight for your right! Believe it, baby. I'll see y'all next year.
Super Bowl 58 recap. Of course, we did have a dandy of a Super Bowl, the longest Super Bowl in NFL history in terms of the game time. Of course, the Chiefs took the second ever game Super Bowl to go to overtime. They were able to win it, of course, on the second possession. 25-22 was the final score. Again, in overtime, of course, the Niners, the 1 seed out of the NFC, have lost their last 2 chances at the Super Bowl to the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, they've lost 3 straight after that 5-0 start. It'll be their 30th anniversary next calendar year when next time they can win a Super Bowl. It's been rough for a Niners fan, of course, ever since they won that Super Bowl back in '95. Chiefs, on the other hand, I mean, they've won 3 Super Bowls in the past 5 years. 5 years, first team since the 04-05 Patriots to go back to 03-04, whatever. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions. This is a very historic mark for them. This is a dynasty now, if you didn't know. 3 Super Bowls really does do it, unless it's in like 10 years. But whatever. The Chiefs, of course, have been enormously successful under Patrick Mahomes, and they will look to, again, make it 3 straight, 3-peat, which, again, would be completely bananas. But, yeah, they were able to do it, and let's look at the game one. Of course, Brock Purdy, I think he did do enough to win. Yes, he did get beat on a blitz a couple of times. Of course, they've ramped the pressure up much more in the second half. First half, he only got blitzed on 35% of his dropbacks. Second half, half of them. So, yes, Brock Purdy definitely had a much harder time getting the football out. Of course, 23 of 38, though, 255 and a touchdown overall. Juwan Jennings, who, if they did would have won, would have definitely won a Super Bowl MVP with, of course, that passing touchdown and, 4 catches, 42 yards, and their only other touchdown. CMC had 80 yards receiving, of course, with that touchdown, as well as, 80 yards rushing, and not super consistent. Also had a fumble to start the game off, but he's by far their best offensive player, and we saw in this game on 30 touches, he had 160 yards. But again, I don't think this Niners team is going to be back at the same, like, the way they are right now. It's not like they can't go back next year by any means, but this is definitely a very crucial game for them, and they completely blew it. That's just simple truth about it. They had a couple of drives, like especially in that third and first quarter, you got to at least put up a field goal there. Again, Jake Moody didn't exactly help, but again, Kyle Shanahan definitely, when we look at it now, they should definitely have taken the taken the weighted instead of just taking the ball, because again, it's not normal overtime anymore. Like, that's how the playoffs work. At least that's what we know now. Brandon Ayuk had a couple nice catches, but really he didn't get open consistently at all. Again, CMC was their leading receiver. Debo really got, I don't even know, he got banged up. It was not a consistent game for him. Ray McLeod on 1 catch. Chris Conley, of course, also was a demon on special teams. George Kittle, again, really didn't play a ton either. I think he only had like 45% of the snaps. But again, more importantly for Ray McLeod, again, he did kind of muff that punt, but it was completely frantic. So again, that's not all on him. Obviously, again, he probably should have picked it up, but don't put that all on him. Again, it hit a guy's foot. Either way, though, looking at this defense, Fred Warner was awesome. 13 tackles. He was one of the best players in the league this year. We're going to looking back at the film and all. Showed it in the Super Bowl. Jair Brown, of course, had their 1 interception. First pick off of Patrick Mahomes in the last 7 games against them, of course. Not for them, but like in general. Yawano Lenore, he was decent at 8 tackles. Nick Bosa had 6 tackles, couple pressures. Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, Chase Young, all sacks. Chase Young finally doing something with the Niners. Again, outside of that, though, no one really stepped up in the secondary outside of Yawano Lenore and Jair Brown. They were both pretty good. Tayshaun Gibson Sr. was pretty pedestrian. Logan Ryan looked like his old self. Travarius Ward did not step up against his former team. And there were a lot of other things like this defense turned to Swiss cheese. But I'll talk about why that's a big factor later. Jake Moody, of course, hit his 3 field goals. Well, again, he had the extra point block. That wasn't totally on him, but then again, he should have had that thing up more. Mitch Wisnowski was also a very good punter in this game. For the Chiefs, though, Mahomes 34-46 on 333, 2 touchdowns, interception. Looked like he was really stressed out in that first half. Of course, forced that 1 throw. Again, he completely missed on the interception. But outside of that, you look at it, this is truly the reason the Chiefs, again, at least offensively, were able to, again, be Super Bowl champions this season. Because, again, they're not going to be world-beating like they usually are. But, again, it was Patrick Mahomes taking what the defense gave them, and this offense knowing that it's not the end of the world if they have to punt. Because that's it. Again, when you have to adapt like that, it's very good to see, and that's why they really won the Super Bowl, at least offensively. Mahomes, though, 9 for 66, 7.3 yards per carry. Again, led them in rushing. Isaiah Pacheco was okay. Oh, yeah, Patrick Mahomes also won his 3rd Super Bowl MVP. Only other players to do that are, of course, Joe Montana and Tom Brady. Old farts think Joe Montana's the GOAT for whatever reason. I mean, okay. And obviously Tom Brady, who is the actual GOAT. Looking at the receiving position, though, of course, Travis Kelce, 9 for 93. Again, his 3rd Super Bowl. Again, Mahomes, he's at 3 already. Tom Brady for the quickest to do that in NFL history. But again, Travis Kelce had a very solid game. Again, not super consistent in the first half, but again, he really stepped it up when they needed him. McCall Hardman, of course, had the game-winning Super Bowl touchdown as well as the 52-yard bomb. Again, Isaiah Pacheco, he didn't have, again, the greatest game, but I do think, again, the way he was able to tire out that defense really helped him in the long run. Obviously, MVS caught that other touchdown. No one was particularly getting, Rasheed Rice at least didn't drop, I don't think dropped a pass, but this offense, again, it wasn't by far their best performance at all, but again, when it came down to it, they were a very consistent team, and also, again, outside of those 2 turnovers, again, for a game that was super sloppy, they did do a decent job. Defensively, though, looking at it, again, their pressure was definitely manufactured for sure. It was a lot of, what is called, good play calls from Steve Agnola. But this defense, simply put, was the most disciplined I've seen them all year, which is saying something for sure. Felix Anduki-Uzama even in a really nice play. But overall, this is the best defense the Chiefs have had in probably 15 years, maybe even in franchise history. Probably the second best, of course, when they won the Super Bowl. First Super Bowl they went to, that was their best defense. But looking at it, again, this is the best Chiefs defense they're going to have in a long time. You should be very grateful if you're a Chiefs fan, because this is the reason you guys won the Super Bowl. And again, there's really nothing else to say, because that's just truth. Again, you might not have Chris Jones next year. You might not. Again, Trent McDuffie, you're going to have to give a pretty good hefty bag. George Karlaftis, same type of thing. But man, this defense really overperformed this year, and it showed. They were completely phenomenal. Again, Harrison Butker, 4-4 from field goal. Of course, now has the NFL record with a 57-yard bomb. He's legit. Team stats, though, again, the Chiefs had over 450 yards of offense and also had the ball for, again, the Niners actually had the ball for longer than I thought they would, but the way the Chiefs were able to chew that clock at some points, I think was really important. Again, there were a lot of 3-and-outs for sure. Again, five punts, 10 total punts in the game. Isn't exactly great. Again, 2-to-2 turnover ratio. Definitely wasn't a perfect game at all, but again, got really ramped up towards the end, and I was really satisfied with the Super Bowl. Again, Taylor Swift, all that other crap, I really don't care. With all that said, though, let's get right into the keys to the game grades to wrap this thing up. And for San Francisco's offense, I said Brock hitting the early underneath passes, getting rhythm. He did do that on the first drive. Obviously, they didn't really, again, it kind of got ruined. Again, most of this Niners offense consisted of, again, Brock hitting some nice throws and then getting completely disrupted. And when he got disrupted early, it just completely messed everything up. I will say this, Christian McCaffrey did not have 20 touches in the first half, but they got him the ball 30 times on the game, which there's really no excuse for. That's a really good game by that, what is called Kyle Shanahan. That's probably the only good thing he did in this game. But again, not the first half, but whatever. George Kittle, he really wasn't a part of the game plan, I felt like. Again, I think they could have gotten involved a little more. Again, he did have that injury in this, I think, what was it, second quarter. But after that, it was kind of bad. Again, we look at it, this offense really didn't look the same. Again, they did have over 350 yards, not over a 60% touchdown in the red zone. But I will say this, after Usher performed at halftime, his offense just seemed like it was completely out of rhythm. And with that, again, it was really hard to see that. Again, they didn't really do much at all in the red zone. Outside that one Juwan Jennings touchdown, it was a pretty disappointing effort outside of, for that reason. I have to give them 2 minuses for that. It was just a disappointing performance overall. Again, I don't think they can play completely bad, but those 2 turnovers were very bad, were very crucial in their loss. And again, they got beat on that last play that really honestly probably decided the Super Bowl in that Trent McDuffie play. Well, not only with this Niners defense that, of course, was on the field when they did lose on the walk-off touchdown. And for San Francisco's defense, keeper She Wrights under wraps with a good sound tackling. They did do a good job against him. No big plays allowed to Marcos Valdes-Scantling. Nope, that was Steve McCall better than the one. And Nick Bosa with 8+ pressures. I don't think he had 8 pressures. I think he had like 4 or 5. But really the thing about this Niners defense is they were on the field way too much at some points. And also I think, again, the way the Chiefs were able to matriculate the ball down the field against them was something they really weren't going to stop at some points. Because, again, if they didn't take away that underneath stuff, Mahomes was just going to beat them over their heads. And, again, it was just hard to stop that, obviously. The receivers were also a lot better. You couldn't rely on them sucking. So, again, it was a lot more than Niners defense. They kind of had to just straight up play well. And they didn't at some points. But to be completely honest, guys, they played well enough to win this football game, in my opinion. Yeah, Swiss cheese in the last drive. But Niners defense, I'll probably give them an equal sign. I think they did play well enough to win this game. The offense, again, just couldn't get in any sort of rhythm. And when they're not in rhythm, guys, the Niners offense really isn't that good. So, we saw that flaw in the Super Bowl next year for sure. They got to get a better secondary. And, yeah, maybe they'll be back here next year, but this was their best opportunity. And, of course, like the Ravens, they blew it. Now for the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, starting out with their offense. And for Kansas City's offense, you guys can't afford to get down by 14+ going into the fourth quarter. They weren't down by that much. I don't think they were down. It was like 13-10 or something. Patrick Mahomes not forcing anything. He only forced that one pass, and even then, he probably could have hit the Travis Kelce, just completely overthrew him. Rashee Rice, 10+ targets. He didn't get that many targets, but they did get him the football, obviously. Isaiah Pacheco with over 150 rushing yards. Again, he didn't really have much success really at all in this football game, but I will say this, he did have a couple nice runs. So, again, he also pounded the rock, which is what they needed him to do. 25+ points. They did score 25, and oh, yeah, don't have the receivers choke, and they didn't. And, yeah, they kind of won. So, if you're the Chiefs offense, you got to be pretty satisfied with how you played. Again, very good, what is called perseverance, I guess you could say, or to overcome some of the, what is called issues they had in that first half. Of course, Travis Kelce raging at head coach, what is called Andy Reid was not exactly, pretty. But for this Chiefs offense, again, this has been the whole story all year. They've been just basically trying to figure out what the heck's wrong. And again, with all that said, though, the Chiefs, next year, they need to get a #1 receiver because, again, they're not going to win the Super Bowl next year with this receiving core. Just simple truth about it. So, again, some of these guys will stay, but guys like Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore got to go. But either way, again, you guys won the Super Bowl. Who the hell cares? 4 pluses for your offense. Now let's talk about the defense to wrap this thing up. And for the Chiefs defense, carry the load like the reason you got here. I mean, kind of. They did do what they usually do. But Trent McDuffie being on his toes, but not hesitant early. No, he was pretty decisive the whole game. Again, he had that one holding call, but that was about it. L'Jarius Sneed, under 8 targets against. I don't think he only had 5. He wasn't getting the ball that much against him. And under 20 points allowed. They did get up 22, but I'm good with it. And again, they did not have 5 sacks. But they did have, again, that one manufactured sack. Really, the only thing I have to say about this Chiefs defense is they really didn't finish off some of their plays. But outside of that, this defense was completely phenomenal. They're the reason the Chiefs really won the Super Bowl. Very happy with how they played. I will give them 5 pluses. And again, really, the takeaway from this game is, guys, the Chiefs went back-to-back. Kyle Shanahan, yet again, cannot get it done in the big game as the Chiefs, again, head towards the dynasty, and yeah, it's really good here. I'll say this, though, again, looking at, again, the next couple weeks, I will probably, Wednesday or Thursday, we'll see, maybe even tomorrow, I'm probably going to do my reactions to the 2023-2024, my predictions, so that'll be pretty interesting. And then, again, probably next week or the week after that, we'll probably get into one thing every NFL team has to do this offseason, again, like last year. I'll get into that again. That video probably coming out like next Friday or something. And then after that, Combine starts in draft season. So, yeah, really the offseason layout, at least so far. Nothing crazy the next couple weeks. So, yeah, either see like Wednesday or Thursday. That's most likely when this next one's going to come out. But until then, enjoy your night. And, yeah, Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Come the screens. Curry comes free. Gets the ball. Puts up a three-pointer. Bang! Steph Curry nails the three-pointer with 7/10 of a second remaining.